was scruffy looking.
What's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time to watch these videos. I enjoy making them and I enjoy interacting with you guys, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. And so this video is going to be week number 5. So today, as of today, my week is 1 year old. It's February 1st. Or what did I say? 1 month. 1 month old. Yeah, so this is it. I'll go ahead and show it to you. Still keeping my neck clean, even though it's not freshly shaven at this moment. You can see my beard, or my face hair, is basically just about caught up with my, or at least almost looks like it's caught up with my sideburns, and I'm going to blend that, and I will record and show that video so that you can see how I do it if you're interested. And yeah, so it's you know, still in the scruffy phase, but not quite in the beard phase. It's kind of like that in between. I mean, some people might call this a beard, maybe like a baby beard or something, but you know, mostly scruff. But yeah, so that's all I've got as far as my growth goes, so you can check that out. And we'll probably make a video of like a time lapse, because I always think those are cool to watch and gives you a pretty quick breakdown if you're just like, what would I look like in a month? You know, everyone's different, of course, but gives you an idea. But today I wanted to talk about the topic of weird growth patterns and how to deal with them. And that came from my buddy Jacob Sauer. I hope I said your name right, man. He asked this question on the last video, and I wanted to go ahead and answer it now. And so, yeah, so I've got 3 different things that I think that you'll find pretty helpful. First of all, grow it out first. Again, like I say it all the time in my videos, go with a 3-month commitment. Don't mess with your beard, this section on your face. Don't mess with it until you've gone for 3 months. So many decisions that you might make before the 3-month mark are going to be uninformed because you've just not gotten past a really short, the short stages of your beard. It's like thinking of like trying to style your hair. Like, let's say you shaved your head, right? And then like in a few weeks after you shaved your head and the hair started coming back, you're just like, oh man, I can't style it the way I want to. Or like, oh man, maybe I should do this kind of style or something like that. Like, there's nothing there. Like, just give it time. Wait till you have something to work with, then make some decisions. So the first thing, grow it out. Length is also gonna make it a little bit less noticeable. So every beard's different, but most times once you grow it out, you get the length on it, it won't be as noticeable. And that really is the same as your head hair. So right here, so this side of my head, the hair has always been, I have wavy hair in general, but it's always been better about just going down, right? It hangs down more, it grows down more. This side though has more of like a flip to it, and it kind of grows backwards. And that's where like you see, I've got more of a curl in the back on this side of my head. And what's funny is when I first started growing out my facial hair, I realized that my face was no different. This side of my face actually is a little bit different. So this side of so this half goes more or less down, like you see these lines here is downwards. And as it gets towards the middle of my face, like the mustache, this side of my mustache, it kind of goes slanted sideways a little bit off to the, you know, the left or the right, I guess, whatever direction you're looking at this. And then by the time you get to this area of my face, it's more or less growing like that direction. Like it's like straight here, and then it's coming going here. It's cowlicking to the my right. And when I first grew it out, like I didn't grow out the full beard first. I had a goatee when I was younger, and I'd always used to be like just frustrated with the little curl that was right there. Like I always had to I felt like I had to cut more on this side. Like I knew it wasn't symmetrical, but I had to make it like unsymmetrical so that it would look to other people like it was symmetrical, because that little cowlick that went off to the side. And so, so I mean, it's no different than, you know, the hair on your head. And again, my hair doesn't look like extremely like going back like that, but when you cut my hair real short, you will see the hair more or less going backwards. And again, so that's just my point is let it grow out, and you'll see, one, either that's not that noticeable, or 2, you can make, a different decision in terms of how you're going to style it, maybe differently to account for it. So the second thing would be embrace it. Just embrace it. Again, remember that this, especially this phase, but I think just beard growing in general, it's about learning some things about yourself, and it's about embracing some of your quirks and some of the maybe what you hadn't learned about your face yet, or you hadn't learned about your personality yet, or something like that. And so that would be my advice, is really just to embrace this cowlick or this weird growth pattern as a quirk that you need to learn to embrace. Because guess what? Unless you have like surgery or something, that's your growth pattern and you're stuck with it. Yes, there are some things you can do to deal with it, but it's never going to look exactly the same as maybe some other part of your face where the hair goes straight down or whatever that you like. So, so embrace it. Another example too is my wife grew out dreadlocks, and when she did, I was watching a lot of videos with her and stuff. I had a slight interest at one time, and they'll have, they'll like know how many dreads they have, and they'll have a few that they particularly like are fond of because it's weird, or it does this quirky thing, or they're always having to like separate it, because they grow together. That's what I think. It's like I had the same thing with my beard. I remember like relating to that, like, my wife being like, oh yeah, this one back here does this or that. And I remember being like, oh yeah, it's kind of like my cowlick on my face. Like I just kind of have this in my white spot, really. That's why, like, I've mentioned it before, but this is like it's like I like it. It's my like unique identifier. So that would be the second thing, is just learn to embrace it, because that's really, in my opinion, what growing a beard is all about. It's about embracing who you are and what it is you look like when you let nature take its course. And lastly, what you can do, once you've grown out a little bit, you can use like a blow dryer or straightener to deal with that. So I would never personally use a straightener. I know that some guys do it, and to each their own. I don't judge anybody. I don't care. But I don't want to put that kind of intense heat on my hair follicles. I have used a blow dryer before, especially when it gets real long. It takes forever to dry, so sometimes I would use a blow dryer on light heat, like to kind of air it out a little bit, help it just dry a little bit faster. If you decide that you want to use a blow dryer or whatever, you can use a brush, and I'll try to find a video. I know I've seen a few videos of guys who have like a pretty big cowlick on one side, and they'll use like a hair dryer while like combing it or brushing it to try to like work it out a little bit. And again, it doesn't get it completely straight like how maybe your other half of your face is or another part of your face is, but it will help a little bit. But you'll still see that wave, So again, that kind of brings it back to point number 2, which is just learn to embrace it. So anyways, that's all I've got for you guys. I hope that you found these videos helpful and useful, and I hope that you continue to provide, give me your questions so that I can answer them. Like I said in the last video, I've got a list of topics that I would love to cover, but again, I want this to be a helpful resource for you. New beardisman, that's really who I'm, looking at. Like I don't want to convince someone who doesn't interested in growing in a beard. Like I'm never gonna try to convince them like, you should do it if he's like has no interest in it. But if you have an interest in it, I think you should go for it. And like I said, at least give it 3 months, give it a shot, and you can do it along with me and everybody else who's doing it. So anyways, hope you guys are doing well. I hope that you click like on the little thumbs up there. I hope that you share this, and I really hope that you subscribe, and I will catch you on the flippity flip. Thanks.